Computer graphics are basically images that are generated by computer, and there's a lot many things like related to pixel arts and everything, which we listen often, but we don't understand because we are not into graphics like that. So we are here in this webinar where all our doubts and everything will be resolved, and we will got to know much more about graphics and all the trending technologies that is happening these days. So without wasting all your time and just coming straight to the webinar, I won't take you a lot of time. I'll just introduce the speaker for the day, Mr. Hassan Haque. Mr. Hassan Haque is an extraordinary personality with perfect blend of qualities in perfect ratio. Though many of you will say that the word perfect does not exist, but you have to believe me that he will prove you wrong. He is a perfect example of perfectionist. Whatever he do, however he do, the results are spectacular. He is an extreme introvert, extrovert, enthusiastic, and self-motivated personality. He always had that smile through which anyone can approach him, and he always help people. And believe me, when we approached him for this webinar, he was quite happy to take it, to spend some time and have with you all. As of now, he is handling currently 4 pages of Instagram. Those are of different NGOs, different clubs, and being an amazing graphic designer, he has excelled them all. All of them are looking very amazing. And he's also helping people to find a right internship from them because he's a graphic designer. Apart from his designing skills, he has total knowledge of social media. He's a multitasker. He has won district level football and was qualified for states in the year 2018. He has also served student council of Jai Hind College as a deputy general secretary in the year 2019. And currently, he is the general secretary of student council and graphic head of .com club. He has always balanced his academics with all the extracurricular activities very efficiently, be it sports, graphic, designing, social media, coding, management, whatever you say, he knows all of it. So we are glad to have such an amazing personality with us. So without wasting any time, over to you, sir. You can have it from here.
Good evening, everybody. So that was quite a thing. Uh, I have no words actually. So I'll be telling you about what are the basic elements of graphics because graphics is a trending field right now, and what I want to create or make you all understand is that what is the importance of graphics in our day-to-day life because we are actually surrounded by graphics. So I have a small presentation which will help us know different steps on how we can go above if you want to be a graphic designer or if you want to create design for yourself. You don't have to be a graphic designer. You can help your mom if she wants to start a startup of food or design logo for yourself for your startup. So I think graphics is needed for everybody, and everybody should know the basic knowledge about what graphics is. And we'll be also having a small workshop on how to use Canva. As in, a Canva is the best tool. I started with Canva 4 years ago, and it has helped me a lot. There are many technology I have seen currently. I have seen Canva growing by itself, adding more features to it, and they are quite amazing and very easy to manage. So let's not waste time and start with the presentation. So what is graphic designing? Does anybody has an idea about it? Are they allowed to unmute?
We can use the chat box and see it.
Okay. Okay. So what is graphic designing? Let me first tell you. So first, let's divide these two words into different ratios. Graphics stands for the drawing element, like the making process, and design stands for the solution to a problem. So everybody must be wondering, design is a solution to a problem? Yeah. So let me give you an example about the design. Take an example of a bed. A human could have slept on the ground as well, right? We don't have any issue sleeping on the ground, but some designer thought that there should be something level up from the ground, which gives comfort while sleeping. Thus, there was an invention of bed. Design is a complete process of innovation, and it will keep innovating in future as well. So basically we are all surrounded by the designs, from our clothes to our college logos. We are all under graphics. Even the presentation which I'm presenting is graphic. It has a huge hierarchy. It has many small subfields like logo designing, poster making, interior, architecture. It's endless. Everything you use WhatsApp, that is also graphics completely from A to Z. So let me ask you a small question if you can relate to me. Sorry. So what is a world without graphics? Could anybody tell me? How would a world look like without graphics?
Black and white. Black and
Black
white.
and white. Right. And any other suggestions? Any other answers? That was the correct answer actually, yeah, but let me elaborate. If you imagine a world without graphics, you imagine a life with no cards on any occasions, no packing for your favorite products, no websites for online shoppings, or menu cards at the restaurant. A world without graphic designing couldn't exist at all, because without it we wouldn't know what is happening. Like when there is Diwali, you see that there are many posters, banners, and you see around that there these billboards shout to you that the Diwali is near, and your WhatsApp is filled with all these posters and banners. So it, if you look around wherever you are, you will find graphics everywhere. Either be it your label, a logo, your book, or a wrapper which is thrown on the floor. If you look on your phone, you wouldn't be able to use your favorite emojis. To use your favorite emojis, you need that graphics. And if that wouldn't be there, then the, like the fellow friend said, that WhatsApp would also look like a black and white screen. Even text comes under graphics, so you wouldn't be able to text also. The WhatsApp would be just useless. So, how many of, let's give a live, let's take a live example of what graphics plays to the role. How many of us watch IPL? Can I get a chat board? A yes, yes, yes. So yeah. So now imagine your favorite team. Imagine your favorite team that let's say it is KKR. So their color T-shirt is black, right? And let's take Chennai Super Kings, which is yellow. So imagine you segregate your players by different colors of the t-shirts or the jersey they wear, right? Imagine there is no graphics, so what they'll wear? They'll just wear a white t-shirt. Every team member will be wearing a white t-shirt. Who will you support? Or if you can't relate that, then can you imagine a running shoes without a Nike tick? Or your favorite Starbucks coffee in a white mug with no logo of Starbucks? I mean, how would you flaunt? So what I'm the main thing is that graphics makes things prettier, and hopefully it catches people's attention. It connects us all together. So let's not. I'll just tell you where other graphics are mainly used, or we are been using in basic lives. So there are logos, as I said, Nike without a tick. There are posters, and there are Instagram posts. So I'll be coming to the Instagram later because it is a quite trending topic. And let's first understand what are the tools that can be used for the process, which is Adobe. You can use Adobe Illustration or Photoshop. But personally, I would say if you are a beginner, then you should start with Canva, because it gives you tools, alignment, text, as per what you wish. You can take two different types of templates and merge them together. That creates an effect. That is also graphic designing. You don't have, you're not robbing anybody's design. It is your personal design. If you take two designs and merge them, or if you take a single design and modify it, it is your personal design. Let's now understand about the fundamentals of graphics. So the fundamentals of graphics is based on every visual medium from fine art to modern websites, even with small details like font and size. They all have some basic elements in common, which includes lines, form, texture, and balance. They all balance together to find, and you'll find them in every design or every poster you see nowadays. These fundamentals can teach you a lot, like creating simple visuals from the scratch. You don't have to be a painter or an artist to be a graphic designer. Yeah, my drawing looks like that somewhat. So you can create simple visuals and quotes. This is how you go about. And the first element we're going to talk about is a line. So a line is a connection of two ends, but a line can be fat, thin, or wavy, or jagged. In short, every possibility of line will give you a different result. They appear frequently in designs. Example in illustrations, graphic elements like textures and patterns. They are also common in text compositions, like helping them divide, organize the content in guide view order. When you work with lines, pay attention on things like weight. This is pay attention on things like weight, the color, the style, and the curves. So this is an example. If you see a no parking signal and you can find lines in a no, there are lines playing a major role. If you change the font, then you'll find a different design, and this will be a different, completely a different modified version of for yourself. So now let's talk about shape. What is a shape? A shape includes circle, square, triangle, and number of events. It is divided into two, which is geometric and organic. Geometric is the perfect shapes that we use, and organic is a freehand tool. For example, shapes helps us indicate ideas visual. This is a illustrator with no face. If you add shape like glasses and lips, it creates a reality effect. The signs, the logos, the art is mostly understand by the shapes we see. Or the classic example of how we make the illustrations. It adds effect to your design, like given below. These shapes play a very important role when you design. Now, if you try seeing shapes, then you'll find them in everywhere. Everywhere you'll find shapes are used in this particular logo, in your websites. If a shape becomes 3D, it is called a form. A form has a three dimension. They imaged into helping light, shadow, and perspective. You can see this is the light and shadow, and this is the perspective which creates the look of the illustrator. If you remove from the design, then the bouncing ball will just be a circle. 3D building will just be a series of rectangle. Form is also used in illustration to give a 3D touch. Form is implemented in last, but it helps creating that wow effect to your design. Like for example, in this dip, if you add a shadow, this creates a layer effect, and it gives an object. If you're giving the cup a shadow in the bottom, it gives a place to the cup. Here is a small logo. If you give it a 3D view, it is completely different and appealing to your eyes. Now let's talk about textures. It is a physical quality or surface, like for example, converting this image into an illustrator. You can see that there are depths of your design. It gives you a smooth, rough, hard, and soft effect. This is a particular design. If you add a soft effect, which is on the shelf, if you add a break effect, which is soft, and a bear, which is a soft effect, if these were not there, the design would be incomplete. Take an example of this website. There's a texture behind it. And if you it looks appealing. You can find textures everywhere in glossy fonts, in your logos, or but keep a mind. If too much texture applied, it may spoil your design, like it is shown over here. Now let's talk about balance. It is equal distribution of weight. Like for example, let me give you an example of the Google Meet itself. We are divided into the grids of a particular person are divided into particular blocks. If those blocks were not equal size, then it would look astonishing. Maybe you wouldn't find, like, you wouldn't be like, I don't want to use Google because it is not that user friendly, or the interface or the UI, the feel is not nice. Uh, So it is implied into three different ways, like the color, the size, and the amount of it is divided, and the negative linings. So balance is a very important role. If you design a particular poster, try balancing it. If you put it in a proportion, you will find that the picture is balanced. Over here, if you see the picture and the font is in a particular proportion, does it looks balanced? It is symmetric. This is a particular symmetric design. It is balanced because they are divided in both equal parts. And now let's talk about asymmetric. This is also balanced because this catches the right attention. Here is the logo and here is the particular person's name. So this is also called as balance. Now let's talk about the 3D view. We divide the picture. This is mostly used when we clip pictures. We place the object or ourselves in a particular line or a grid so that we get a wow effect. This is used mostly by many graphic designers because human eye is tend to look in this particular way when we stare at a design. Thus, I would want to say that the basic things, look at the bigger picture. What I want to say is that when you make a poster or a design, pay attention on the smaller things like shape, balance, and the sharpness. Design speaks louder than words because if your words are less, but your design speaks a lot. If we'll be doing it in the further things that how to design it on Canva, the goods and the don'ts. Now let's talk about Instagram. The 7 Instagram trends. So how many of us are using Instagram on daily basis? Or do you know that are we sharing daily posts or stories on Instagrams, or it is just we use it for sometimes or once a month? But if you want to create or you want to get followers or you want people to hit that follow button on your profile, then these designing will help you get followers, and also it will help you creating your wall and astonishing, maybe color schemed. So let's not waste time and first see the first rule, which is the gradients. So if you see the gradients, this is the reminder post. So there we see many posters on Instagram, right? The trending is scratch stories. They post quotes which are relevant. What they are using is a particular color. They had started in between using gradients because this creates Instagram is helping. If you put a hashtag gradient, then Instagram automatically promotes your particular post. Or if you don't put a hashtag, even if the picture, even because of the picture address link, your post will be coming in the top notches of the search when you search gradient. It can be easily achieved. We'll be learning this also, how to do this particular gradient on Canva. The second trend is paper texture. Many of us will have been seeing that this image on the right hand side, this creates a papery effect to your image. Thus, it makes your picture stand out from the design of other people. So you can apply this also using Canva. That's why I say that Canva is the strongest tool, which I would say that beginners can use, and it is a very effective tool. The third trend is that color blocking. So what is color blocking? If you can see over here in the background, there is the promotion, or this is the Instagram wall of sugar bear hair. Many of the girls may be knowing about this because it helps you get healthier hair. So the color scheme they using are the color scheme they use are two color scheme, which is blue and pink. And if you see, you'll find a symmetric, a balanced, and all the things that we learned in this particular wall. They use visuals in a perfect manner. If you're thinking to start your particular startup, then don't just make an Instagram wall and start posting anything what you feel. Try, sit down, try taking all these principles, make your design, choose a color scheme, and then start posting. Because in future, you post anything, be it code or video, the background of your particular post will be, let's say, dark blue or pink. That will create an effect, and it creates a brand value for your particular startup or for your personal page as well. Like for example, if I see pink color, then I know that it is Sugar Bear. If I see a blackish theme, then I know it is Nike. If I see gradient, then Adidas is currently using gradients. Now let's talk about the fourth trend, which is mood board collages. In 2021, I think this will be the booming phase where Instagram will be on the top. As you can see over here, this image. So this is created by it is created by a tearing effect. If you can see, adding multiple images. And the best part is you can make these type of images on Canva itself. You don't have to use complex Photoshop or illustration tools. You can just create this effect in Canva. That also we'll see. Now let's talk about the design codes. So we all see codes, right? Be it any codes, the trending codes or the news codes. If you will see these brands or these particular pages use a particular font style or the particular a particular color, they may be using yellow, pink, blue, but these all are subtle colors. They don't use too much vibrant colors. Some of them we do use, which are, for example, if you go and see Smiley's page, then you will find more of vibrant colors because they want to make that image pop out and stand out from the crowd. There are two basic designs to a principle. Either your design should be very good or your design should be very different. Different doesn't mean bad, but it may prick in your eyes or it may disturb your vision. But yeah, that is trending. You can use stickers, which is also trending. These are stickers where you can use in stories, like for example, hashtags. And nowadays, stickers, Instagram is promoting stickers by themselves, which is one of them is, I guess, covert is one of them. And then there is uh, stay at home, ghar pe raho, and many more. So these also, if you add stickers, these also create a different kind of effect to your design. Now let's talk about this, which is the most interesting and it is my personal favorite, which is wrapping or waving the text. So let's see this particular image. Hey, you keep smiling. So this is a particular emoji where you can be creative as per you want. This is a wavy text which says that keep smiling and also indicates a smile. So that's how brands work, or that's how a particular person should rely upon or designing. You should think out of the box, not just particular smiley. If you think about a smiley, then think towards the creative side. How I can make a smiley, or you can make an eye from an O maybe, and you can add a woe to that O. So that's how the basic trends or seven principles are there. And many of the people think that graphic designing is a very easy task. So I have quite few memes for them. Let's so these are graphic designer memes. The first is trending. Yeah, no watermark images. If you give when we search for a particular image or we want a particular design, like for example, when I was designing for my dream, my journey um, for the student council, I wanted a particular design for the shapes. Now, if you'll see that there is a mistake in the design, if you'll go on the page and you will notice I was out of design. Like there, I thought that there will be only 9 grids, but ultimately they got more. So I had to inverse the design. Like if you can see the mountains over here, I had inversed these mountains and I started reposting so that the color matches. Though it was not that, though it is against the principle of designing, but I had no choice. So this is one. And people say that I want to be a freelancer and I'll get clients. So let me tell you one, people get paid and but the wait is quite long. The sleeping position, as you can see, doctors sleep like this, lawyers sleep, and engineers sleep in this particular position. There is nobody sleeping because the graphic designer doesn't sleep. If you can see these dark circles below my eyes, those are the proof that we don't have a color scheme. Now when I say blue, there's only one particular blue that will come to your mind, which is towards the left hand side, regular people. And when you tell me a particular blue, then I would ask you again that what type of blue you want. Is it indigo, royal, etc., etc. Now, blending for normal people means making a juice, and blending for designers means you blend the particular color to extent. Here also there is a particular rule which I want to tell you, which is you should use colors which are from the color palette. If you'll search color palette, you'll find the image. The best example you can get is on the team post for student council people. I have followed up a color theme of the clouds, which goes from yellow to blue to purple. And that is a color scheme which I followed from the scale. If I wouldn't have followed the scale, then I'm sure that the design wouldn't look as good as it is looking right now. Brushes for non-designers people are the common brushes. And for designers, it is these, as you can see. Mac is for maybe this is for the girls oriented people. So Mac will be makeup for the girls, but Mac for designers means a MacBook. This is a channel you're watching your favorite web series, but channel for us is how the color scheme should go about. So now let's. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do this particular session on designing. What are the do's and don'ts of a design? If you can see this design over here, yes and no. Can I have a yes or a no chat word?
Yes.
So here, there are rules which I wanted to tell you as per designing itself. So this is a particular design. As you can see, we have used more than two types of fonts, and there is no uniformity in a particular design. This is how beginners design. Now, let me tell you that when I started designing, I was designing for council first of all, and I was in my FI, and my seniors told me that I have to design posters. I used to design posters for 2 to 3 hours, and those used to look like these only, as you can see it over here. And the best part was my design never got selected. Like they always got rejected. But still, if you want to be a graphic designer, then there is a commitment which you have to make to yourself, and that makes you goes on with the journey. So whichever design used to get selected, I used to practice that design again, like how is the design achieved. Those designs were made on Photoshop, but I did achieve them making them on Canva itself. So here you can see, try not using more than two font styles in a particular design. Say if we change this particular font color to font style to this, then it looks more appealing. Or if you see this cough or sneezing, if you try the same font, this may look a little more attractive to what it was looking earlier. Now this note looks too big, you can make it smaller. Try not touching the boundaries of the frame. If you touch the boundaries, it looks like the picture is cut off, and you'll have future problems in posting further post if you want a color scheme, like if you want to change the color from blue to white or from white to black. That's how it goes. So this particular font size is 51 and this is 32. So if you can either increase this size, but try not to increasing the size because it is readable if you download it. So make it smaller and use alignment tool to make it align. If you see that this is getting into the center and it's creating a V image, well, in this it creates a box. Try aiming for a box so that it creates the perfect design for yourself. Now this was the don'ts. Let's see the do's. This is the same particular poster, but with following the principles. This is balanced design. I have used only two fonts, which is one is, as you can see, is Robot, and the second is League. And I've used different elements like these chats. You can change these colors as per you want, but try using sober colors. Like if it is a black color, then you may try for a gray, or this is used, let's try a light gray color or a blue color or a purple color, and you can change this also as per that. Now this is implemented with that. If you're adding a note to your design, you just add a particular slip and it indicates this is a note. You don't have to specify that okay, this is a note and pay attention on this particular design. Or if you want to make your design look more appealing, then you just put a bold effect to it, or change the color of a particular font. That how it goes. Now let's check the paper scheme which I told, which is currently booming. Let's take this image. It's loading. Okay, I think there's a network issue. Maybe that's why it's not loading. Okay, let's take this particular image. And you want to give this image a paper effect. So we go about searching, go, it's just easy, so easy to go in element, search for papers. You'll find many examples of papers. Now, if you paste the paper on this particular design, then it won't look that much good because this particular picture is white. So try searching for a paper which is little towards the brown color. Let's say this one. I don't know why it's not loading. I'll just reload the page. Yeah. So this is a paper scheme. Just try applying it to your design. You go in the opacity section over here and just reduce the thing, and this will create you a paper effect to that image. This will also create uniformity, because if you are thinking to convert, then you don't need a particular scheme to follow. If you're using a paper scheme, then all your pictures should just have this particular theme and you can keep posting yellow, blue, white, but the design will look uniform and balanced. Now let's see which is the most this is the I like this feature a lot. Let's go in text, and which I said that creating a smiley image, if you want, then you just have to go and find, there are many different options. If you can see in Canva, there are many options. Those some are pros, but you can implement these kinds of these pro also in normal designs. Take a particular font, a normal font, create a shadow for it, give this color a lighter effect, and then a darker effect, and then you can just add it, shift it towards the side, and that will give you the design. So you don't have to particularly buy Canva Pro for these kind of designs. The best part is you add a text, smile, smile more. And what we can do is you just click on this, you go in effects, and you can see curve over here. You can play with this curve as per towards this, or making this circle as a smiley. You can even ask a question over here by saying, did now, if you want to create a particular effect, which is a smiley face, so we need an element which is a circle. So let's go for a circle, pick up a circle. This is a yellow color, place it over here, turn it into black. Since we are playing with emojis, you can take, this is the devil's color, if you know, and this is the smiley color, which is basic. So did you smile? You can just use it. You can just take another text. If you want to use a circle, then you can use this particular circle in the same direction, and complete your design by creating this particular effect. So this is how basic designing is done. And these all effects are free. If you want to add video effects to your design, then that's also possible in Canva. You go here, you add your effects, which is zoom, coming down, rolling, pan, fade. There are some pro features also, but I don't think so. You will need those features if you want to learn basic about what is Canva. And this is my favorite particular this aesthetic. If you this is a scrapbook, and this helps in creating design. This can also help you creating a design if you want to start your clothing brand. Um, let's say a brand, or let's take a name of a particular brand. Say recently I did my dream, my journey. So let's take my dream, my and you can add the date, which was 14th, to complete the circle. And if you can see, your circle is almost completed. You just have to add few more spaces to complete it, and you can use this circle as a logo itself for your design. Now these are the basic principles that we can use, and it also provides Canva also provides you with many free illustrations. Now let's see the gradient tool. So let's take this particular gradient. If you can see, make it a bigger size. You don't want a stamp look. Go in your photos, take a random photo, whatever you want. Take this particular logo and just go in filter and remove background. This may create an effect to your design that you are sitting, or maybe for the webinar which was created for myself, the picture was added in the same way. So these basic elements helps you quite often when you want to design. So this is done, and just you can place it anywhere you want, place a particular font, and you are ready to go. Here, change the color as per you want, because color scheme matters, and font size. Since it is white, it has a little white tint to it. I prefer using white color, and since I'm wearing a white t-shirt also, so this is a particular design which I would suggest. Now, do we have any questions as per regarding graphics? Does anybody wants to ask a question like how to design or how to choose the gradient?
Guys, we are open. You can just ask whatever questions you have.
Right,
Hassan,
and
I first
then
want to know, can you just repeat that circle part which you showed that how to make that circular text?
right, so you
Yes.
just so let's make it bigger. You add your text over here, say NSS, and so you go in effects, and you can see it over here. There is one which is this is the default thing, which is none. You press on curve, and your image, your content will be curved as per you want. You can also give shadow to your thing, a tint, color without the thing. This creates, you can create different visuals, thickness. You can measure the thickness of the lines as per you want, thinner the better. Currently, these thin lines are trending. And then add your particular animations for that last touch for your design.
Okay, thank you. That's nice. So Hiba has a question. She asked, "How did you design your PPT? Because it was perfectly designed." So she's a bit curious about that.
Okay, so you want to know about how I design my PPT, as in the effects, or do you want to know about how I added the content? It's
Hiba, you
very
can just unmute and tell.
okay. The effects, yeah. So the effects are very basic. You go. Let's take this is a static. This is a static image. Now you just double click on this. There's an animation option over here. Click on that. There are many animations you can find. Fly in, float. What I did is I mainly use float because this creates a smoother effect and it enters. Now if you get confused at how did I like there's a color scheme, there's a scheme, right? Let's take this picture over here, the first, and let's play it. So the first text is coming and then the picture is coming. You have to double click on this, go in animations, you will find an animation pan. Click on that. You will find when you click on this particular text, you will find these both are the text that, so if you pull them down and then you play the video, so the text won't come first, the image will come and then the text. And this particular design takes a lot of hard work, so you have to merge every single design. So these are one shapes which I have designed by myself, one individual shapes. You take individual space shapes, color it as per you want. As you can see, there are multiple designs over here in the palette. So this creates you create a particular theme and then you go outside the frame, which is, as you can see, this black scheme which is over here. So you go outside the frame and you add these elements. So when you play that element, these elements are hidden first because the animation given to them is later, and then these lines play a very important role. First this line should come and then you have to think as per what line should come first and then second and then third as per you. As in this particular design, what I was thinking is that after this line I wanted a text to appear, so I added a text after this line. As you can see it over here, this is a red triangle and this is the text box. Rest all the images, these images are static, and there's only the texture effect. I think I satisfied your question, Eva.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
If you don't mind, like for the introduction slide, can you first show us the presentation and like just move a little bit and show how did you do it?
The intro slide.
Yes, this one.
So you see this. This is the
Yes.
first angle. You double
Yeah.
click on this. You go in animations. There's a section which is called multiple animations. Why it says multiple animation? Because I have grouped them. If you see, I have grouped them. So let me show it to you. You see this red triangle, there will be a small text box which says either when I click on the mouse, the animations will start, or when the previous design or the when previous animation is completed, then the design should start, or after the previous animation. So there are, and you can also give time to your thing. So I have given 0.2 because I did not wanted the background to appear more, but the text. And then if you, yeah, I'll show it to you. You click on this. There is a multiple designs scheme. Start from previous is selected as per over here. Now let me play it and show it to you first so you understand better. So the first background will come. Oh, I shifted it. Yeah. So the wait. So this is the line which is first. Just remember the lines. This is the first line, the box and the outline, and then the designs. So this is the first line which will come on the top here. This is the first line which is coming. So this was the first line. You give this same effect attached the animation, choose multiple, then you go on the second one, then in the palette you see, after you give the effect you go and time it first if you want to time it, but in basics you should not time it up. Actually timing is not needed that much. Just press that this should start after the previous design. After this particular line is aligned, then this line should appear. So you give first this line, and then after you attached, go in the palette, drop down, choose after the design is finished. Then you choose this particular design, and these designs can be achieved, you must be knowing these are just rectangle lines, basic rectangles. You go in insert, you go in shapes, take a line and draw it. This is the design. You place it over here. That's how it completes. Now in this particular case the outline was different. To merge the outlines, use the same colors and the thickness of the line. This is how it is made. This was the presentation thing, and these all are just same pattern. I'll be showing in, if you want, this is a, this I'll say is a complex designing, but if you want a more easier design, then I'll tell you which is it. Let's go jump on. If you are satisfied, then let's jump on technologies. I have a case study on particular on that. So this is the technologies. This is the animation. Here you may understand better. Let's delete the slides. Does anybody need the slides currently? No, right? You take this slide above. First create a basic effect, which is you click on this particular circle. You make a circle. Take a shape. I'll show it to you. Take a shape. Increase the size. Build a perfect circle. Then what you need is the same circle. Make a bigger size. If you can't make like the dimensions bigger, then try holding shift P, and then you hold shift so that all the edges go equally proportionate to the design, so you don't have to worry about it will be bigger. So in this particular I have used this color. Then this is ahead, so let's use it over here, and then you add a text. So let's take this text only, or this. You can also create, give shadow to the text. I think that is also, if you go in shape effect, here is the shape effect again. I'll tell you, you just choose the font. In home you go in shape effect, and then you choose a shadow as per you want. So if you can see it, this creates a 3D look for the particular A. Now let's give it an animation. So first you double tap it, go in animations. Now what we want is, what we want is zoom in. So we want this. Now one is done. So as you can see this, you can make sure that the oval 20 is the bigger circle. Then you shift on to the smaller circle, give the same thing, zoom in. Then you go on the text, and you go on again the same. You can also give fade, but it'll go off your design. So I would say that use zoom itself and then play your design. So this is the design. Okay, we added the text earlier. The ovals are added later, so you just pull it over here first, and then you take the bigger oval and place it over here, and then the text. Let's see now. This is on particular tab, as I told you. And now if we edit this design, if you see this particular oval, and you don't have to play with that. Start with previous. This is start on click. Choose start with previous and do the same with start with previous on the text. And you just play it. You'll get that effect. Okay, this is not happening. Again, let's go after. This is after, yeah. This is how it is done. The text and the circle are coming together. If you want the text to come after also, then it will also come afterwards when the design is completed, when the animation is completed, like this. And then you can give the speed or technology speed as per you want, like how much time you want the particular design to come ahead or below. You can also create characters from these designs. Now, is it satisfied? Any other questions related to graphics or designing on PPT?
We do have few questions in the chat box. So the first question is from Vaishnavi Nimbalkar. She asked, "Can you please show the way you edited your pic, that background one?"
Which which
Like
background?
talking about the transition one, which you showed. No, you remove the background. Yeah, this one.
This one. Okay. So let's remove this. You remove this image. Take a particular image. Zoom as per you want. Go in effects and remove background. It will automatically remove your background. And if you're having issues, because sometimes Canva says that gives you a pop-up that pro is allowed, only for pro it is allowed to remove the background, then what you can do is you can choose Filmora and you can edit your design over there, remove the background and edit it over here. Take that design, export it from your device, put it over here. Let's take this car. So this is a PNG image. I had this was a car which had a background, and I removed it with the help of Filmora. So there are many options where you can remove the background. Removing background is not an issue, but what I would say, the background color, the pattern you choose for the design is important than your picture itself, because your background speaks more than your picture and the text. Filmora. Sure, I'll just you can just say remove background. Filmora is same as remove background. There are many tools here. So you upload an image over here. Let's say this. The background is removed. Hit on download. Go on your Canva. Just drag this image over here. Wait. Yeah. Go on over here. Just drag your image over here. And you're there, you are done. This works in basic images also. I'll provide the link if you want in the chat box. So it will be easy for you. Yep. Anything else related to this?
So we have one. It is from Chirag Jain. He asked, "Can you explain the concept of white spacing in the designing?"
Concept of spacing in the design.
White spacing, he wrote.
Okay. So here, if you can see, this can be a fair example for that. You see this where when to wear a mask, it has spaces in between. Do you think this is more appealing, or this looks more concise and appealing? And the use of line is also implemented over here, which is which you can see it over here. You can delete it. The line adds the line and the spaces adds let's say uniformity to your design. So let's say that this line indicates that a content is done over here and the other content is started. And this line is perfectly sized from where the content started till where the content was. And then we provide the logo or the source from where the poster has been made. This is the importance of white lining because I think if you somewhere in posters, as I said, there are two types of posters. One is which is eye catching, different. Like I'll just see to the design and I'll be like, okay, this is the design which was made by Chirag because he uses white spacing more, like letter spacing. So here you can see the letter spacing, how you can increase or decrease the spacing. This letter spacing helps you when you create a logo. Let's say, let's say you want to create a logo. Take a take up a font, whatever name you want to write. Suggest me a name if anybody can. Suggest a name of a brand you want. Um, let's say Zara. Have you seen Zara's logo? Are people familiar with Zara, right? So you go try different fonts. First of all, I think Zara uses this particular font. It is you can't get the accurate font because they have a own copyright for that. The only thing limitation on Canva you'll find is that certain text will not have bold effect or an italic effect. So what you'll have to find those kind of images, those kind or similar kind of fonts that has a bold effect or the color effect that can be chosen from the particular design. So if you choose this logo, then what I would prefer is that I would love if Zara had letter spacing like this much, as in the Z, A, R, and AR matching. It compiles all the words together. So this is the important of word spacing. Now this is different, and if you do spaces, then that will create a box effect if you want. There are two types of logos also. Either you can create a box shape or you can create a straight. So that's the difference of white spaces.
I guess that is the last question. Since you are sharing more questions, so yeah, I would just like to call our program officer, Ashutosh sir. He is our program officer of NSS and he does a lot for NSS. Like I personally am short of words. So, sir, I would request you to come over here and give the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanzila. Thank you, Hassan. And it really means a lot that you have worked so hard for it. Two things I just want to share about it, that in graphics, you are using colors to give more business to people, right? And this is very closely connected to color therapy. Which color makes you feel happy? Which color brings your sales? And that will help you to get more customers, right? So maintain consistency, get guidance from Hassan how to maintain that, because he says there is no fixed time when you will get paid for all this, right? There is no fixed criteria why some people charge lakhs of rupees for it and why some people don't get anything for it. And the difference is only practice, nothing else, right? So I really feel happy the way Hassan has described about it, right? And I fully agree with the palette combination, that there are 16,000 palette combinations what Asian Paints has discussed. And so you can ultimately understand every color has a story, right? So thank you once again, Hassan. I want to thank each one of you who are attending this session. See you all in the next session. Thank you so much to you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for attending. And if any one of you want to connect with Hassan, he is very active on Instagram. You can just follow him. Here is his user ID. And the feedback form is provided in the chat box. Hassan, you would like to add something?
No, nothing else. Just try making designs and don't give up. If your designs are rejected, just don't feel bad about it, because everybody's designs are rejected in the starting stages of your life. And but just don't stop designing. If you give up on designing, then it will limit your thinking capacity also. So just don't limit it, and
Thank you so much, Hassan.
try finding graphics everywhere, because either if you see a walking person, that is also graphical, because the movement of the leg, that's how you imagine, or you should understand the importance of graphics. Thank you everybody for listening patiently.
Thank you so much, Hassan. It was really nice to have you all. So the feedback form is provided in the chat box of YouTube as well as Gmeet. You are supposed to fill that in within 15 minutes, because after that we'll be closing that and we won't be opening it in any circumstances. So I request you to fill it in time, and the session stands complete, so you guys can log off. Thank you so much for being patiently with us.